Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Volume 5 in the Hyperion box of the Romantic Piano Concertos edition, whatever it's called here. It's the Romantic Piano Concerto, 1991 to 2007 edition. That's what it's called. And here they are. Oh, don't they look nice? Color-coded, and you can stroke your fingers over them. Oh, they're beautiful. They really are. They're absolutely wonderful. The music is terrific, and the performances are mostly terrific, too. This next volume, Volume 5, features Malcolm Binns, who's a fine pianist, with the English Northern Philharmonia under David Lloyd-Jones, doing Russian stuff. Balakirev's 2 piano concertos, and the Rimsky-Korsakov concerto. What, you say? Rimsky-Korsakov wrote a piano concerto? Yes, he did. And it's really a very strange little work. It's in C-sharp minor, although it's kind of cheerful. It's only 15 minutes long, a little less in this performance, in 3 attached movements that are all sort of thematically related. So it's kind of like Liszt and its inspiration, and it never gets played because it's only 15 minutes long. So what else are you going to do? It's not like Rimsky-Korsakov for lots of additional music for piano and orchestra. Of course, a bunch of Russian composers did, and they wrote fabulous Russian pieces that are also short and really ought to be played like together on a program. But you'd have to have a pianist who's willing to do it and an orchestra and conductor that are willing to learn it. And you know the drill. That's why the difference between the repertoire that we find in concert is so striking when compared to the repertoire we find on disc. It's not about the quality of the music. It's about totally other quotidian circumstances. Although the quality of the music, of course, matters. But, Rimsky-Korsakov's concerto is a good piece, wonderfully compact, fun to listen to. It's not a note out of place. It's just terrific. And this is a very good performance of it. It really is. There were recordings of it on Melodia and a few others bopping around. But, you'd be hard-pressed to do better than this one. Balakirev is a little bit of a different situation. Now, Balakirev wrote ostensibly two piano concertos, neither of which he finished. The first was a student work, and it exists only in the form of a first movement. It's a very attractive first movement. It's a 13-minute and 30-second long first movement. In fact, you could play it with the Rimsky-Korsakov and sort of make an extended work out of the two of them, and that would be work very, very well. It's heavily influenced by Chopin, and it's pretty. It's nice. It's not great. Now, the Balakirev piano concertos have been recorded a bunch of times. Howard Shelley did the first. There's a disc on Naxos, which is quite good, with a Ukrainian pianist whose first name is Anastasia and whose second name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. And it's also very good. And so, we're not exactly in bad shape when it comes to Balakirev. We really aren't. The second piano concerto, and it's the more interesting of the two, it's a big 3-movement work, was begun in like the 1860s and then set aside. And then he picked it up in like 1906, somewhere around there, and still never finished it. He completed the slow movement, and then Liapunov completed the finale. Now, Liapunov was very friendly with Balakirev, and he was a good, well-trained composer who allegedly knew what Balakirev wanted to do in the finale. He'd heard Balakirev play the whole thing, so had Rimsky. It's not as if the piece wasn't sort of fully formed. It just wasn't fully written down. So Liapunov's completion is very, very effective. And if you like the Balakirev of the symphonies, which I think are fabulous works, really underrated and lovely, lovely works, you're going to really enjoy this concerto. The second movement is based on a Russian Orthodox chant from the Requiem Mass. They're that kind of really Russian-sounding, colorful, romantic. It's beautiful, absolutely a beautiful work. And this is an excellent recording. The advantage to the Naxos recording is that you also get Balakirev's Grand Fantasy on Russian folk themes, or whatever that thing is called. Another Balakirev work, whereas here you've got the Rimsky-Korsakov. But, it's just an excuse to get more than one recording. It's not like there's so many you're going to go crazy, right? I mean, frankly. This is another worthy release of rare repertoire that's still pretty rare. Still pretty rare and unlikely to de-rarify anytime soon. So give it a shot. If you got the box, you're going to enjoy this, especially the Rimsky. That's going to be quite a surprise. I guarantee it. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.